All right, David, thanks for being here.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Excited to chat with you.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you some questions, and then you can fire back. So,
All right.
what originally brought you into our office? What were you looking for? What were you hoping for? What were you thinking at that point?
At that point in time was, your wife came in and seen us at work. And she talked about how you take your car to the mechanic, you keep the maintenance on your car, and then people should do that with their bodies. That really said a lot. And it's like, it's right. I used to go to a chiropractor, stopped going. And then when she came in and explained all the benefits of chiropractic care, I knew that it's something that we wanted to do again.
That's awesome. That's cool. I love it. And that's a lot of times what we have to do is kind of the grassroots effort, because we don't have the billions for commercials.
Right. And it worked because myself, my wife, a few other people came, and it's like I said, what things that she said to us really hit home, because it's like, you take your car in for an oil change. Why not take your body in? Yeah. So
sort of waiting for the engine to blow up.
Exactly.
A lot of people do. So before finding shifts, which solutions, you said you had been to a chiropractor before, but which solutions were maybe offered to you for anything you were suffering with at the time?
Actually, nothing. You have the aches and pains, you go through life, you just deal with it. Yeah. And that's what like I said, I went to a chiropractor before, but it wasn't, no offense to other chiropractors, I did not like the whole hands around my head technique. I was never a fan of that. It was always unnerving. I mean, I don't know how many times I heard relax. And I'm like, how can I relax when I know what you're about to do? Yeah. And so when I was told about your technique, and it was like something I wanted to try, because I liked the benefits I got from a chiropractor, but it was not the method in which they did it. Didn't make me very comfortable.
Not as enjoyable.
No, not at all.
Okay. Who's your favorite doctor at Shift?
All of them. I can't pick
What a cop out.
That's it. I can't pick it. Every one of you brings something different and special, and each doctor here teaches us different things. And it's like, I can't pick a favorite doctor.
I appreciate that. That's a good answer.
Thank
you. A good political answer.
Thank you.
Like
I try.
What's a specific hobby or activity that receiving care here has helped you maintain and be able to continue to do, or maybe start doing?
Playing tennis. My job is a lot. My job is a physical job. I'm always bent over a table. So every week when I come in here, it's like, fix that ache and pain that I have in my back, because I'm always bent over a table. And just, like I said, just being able to do everything, tennis is what we do the most, my wife and I. But yeah, just being able, we come here all the time just because of the physical job that I have, and getting adjusted, as I can tell. It used to be a running joke with my coworkers that when I would go to the chiropractor, they know the next day because I'm in such a better mood. So it's like, it was a running joke. Yeah. So
I remember you guys telling me that it was noticeable, just from an energy and a attitude standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
Which is awesome. So your wife, Allison, has been under care with us, as long as you have. Are you shocked that she has stayed with you since she got her head on straight?
I was shocked from the very beginning that she agreed to be with me. I'm really shocked that she actually agreed to it.
That's a big shocker.
It is a big shocker. And that was prior to chiropractic care. And then she stuck with me. So
how about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something.
It is.
Like it. How has it been going through this journey together with your wife, Allison?
Fantastic. I go through every journey with her, but this has been, I see the difference with her. Like, she'd always have lower back pain. And now the difference it's made for her, making her feel better. Yeah. And I know she sees a difference in me. When going to the chiropractor, you think, oh, they're going to fix my aches and pains. But what chiropractic care has done for me mentally has been astounding. I never expected it coming here. It's my anxiety and stress levels have been greatly reduced from chiropractic care. Yeah. It's like, it puts me in a better mood, makes me feel better mentally. And, you don't think about that when you go to a chiropractor. You go, oh, they're going to adjust my back. My back's not going to hurt. My neck's going to feel better. But what chiropractic care, what this place has done for me mentally has been just game changing.
That's amazing. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And a big thing people that don't know, especially if they're not familiar with chiropractic, is that it's working hand in hand with the nervous system. And that's where a lot of those interplays happen. So we hear all the time, hey, I'm sleeping better. I have more energy. My digestion's improved.
100%.
Could that be correlated to this? And yeah, because your your nervous system is housed by your spine. All the nerves that come out, if we have interference there, we're not going to function as well. So I love that you shared that. That's awesome. So most people think of a doctor's office, kind of like you alluded to, as a place you only go when you're broken. So why have you and Allison made shift a part of your life for the last, it's actually been just over 6 years now?
For all the benefits. Just not only like how it says it makes us feel physically, but how it makes me feel mentally, and just the improvements that I've seen in my life. It's like, I'm glad that everybody here is younger than me, because you guys aren't going anywhere anytime soon. So I'm thankful for that. And you coming here from the very beginning, I've never felt like a client. You guys have always are so personable, and I would consider everyone here a friend, because that's how you make us feel. You get to know us on a personal level. I have different conversations with every doctor about what goes on in our lives. And the fact that you guys can remember everything about everybody is just amazing to me. But it's never been like, I never felt like just a client. I always felt like a friend coming in here. And that's how you guys make everybody feel.
Well,
so it's very important. It's like, you can go to any chiropractor and it's like, okay, I'm going to adjust you and I'm going to send you home. But you guys, you educate us. It's not just an adjustment, it's an education. So the doctors here will say, well, do this stretch at home or do this exercise. And that benefits us when we're not here. So it's like, I can't imagine my life, and I know my wife can say the same thing, that I can't imagine our lives without shift.
Yeah.
We come here 3 times a month, and sometimes we show up when we're not supposed to show up.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, just everything, like how it makes us feel and just how you treat everybody. It's just fantastic.
And what do you call those extra visits when you just show up for those?
We usually call and say, hey, can you charge our credit card?
I think sometimes you say booster.
Yeah,
I'm here to get my booster.
We do have a boost,
Yeah,
but a couple weeks ago, we had no scheduled visit.
Yeah.
We showed up, we scanned in, we got adjusted.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't for like 4 days later that my wife said, you know what? We weren't supposed to be there. Oops. So when we came back and we said, let's pay for that boost, because
That's funny.
that's how much a part of our life shift is. And everybody here is. It's just like, we just want to come.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Even when we're not scheduled to come.
Just come hang out.
Exactly.
Yeah. So on that note, be honest,
Yes.
after 6 years coming here, do you still have health goals, or do you mostly just come for the free Wi-Fi?
See, I didn't even know you had free Wi-Fi. I mean, I guess I did see the sign, but I've never used it.
Okay.
Because I'm too busy shooting the bull with all the doctors and everybody. So they keep me entertained.
So you hit on this a bit already, but what does spinal and nervous system health mean to you at this point?
It means everything. It's like, I go see my doctor once a year, and it's to be able to feel better physically, mentally. Is like, that's life for you. That's how you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be aches and pains all the time. You don't want to be down and depressed. And like I said, I didn't think anything of it coming here. I didn't think it would do this for me mentally, but it's incredible.
That's great.
And just, and the aches and pains too. I remember when we first came here, I always had shoulder pains. And during I think it was our 3-month checkup, Jen asked, how's your shoulder pains? I'm like, what shoulder pains? I didn't even remember that. That was one of my complaints that I put on the thing when we came here, because it's like, I didn't remember it because it was gone.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's what we come here for.
That's really cool.
Just to tune up.
Yeah. And that happens a lot, where people will come in, even sometimes they'll come in and, you know, we'll do a re-exam at month 1 or month 2. Like, I don't know if I'm that much better. I'm not too sure. And it's like, well, you said when you came in, you couldn't bend over and put your socks on. Are you doing that? What? I couldn't do that at the beginning? Yeah, that's what you told us, you know? So people forget, because when we're not living in the pain, it just becomes, you know. And
something just as silly as that, I remember when my wife and I would walk in the wintertime, and you'd look back at your footsteps and my feet would kick outwards. And it's like, since coming here, every footstep is forward. It's like, I don't walk out anymore. And it's just just small things like that you don't really think of. Like when you're walking, it's like your gait and how now my feet go forward every time instead of going out, out, out. And it's like, just things like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a cool change.
It is.
So do you and Allison ever argue about who's the favorite patient, and why is it clearly her?
There's no argument there, because I know it. I know she's not just the favorite patient; she's everybody's favorite person. So there's no argument.
It's a tough battle.
It is. I'm just lucky to be along for the ride with her.
What would you say to someone who is considering maybe embarking on a journey or making a new patient appointment at shift?
I would say do it 100%. It'll be the best decision you've ever made in your life. Because like I said, it just, what you don't realize, the things that this chiropractic care and everything else you do with weight loss and all that, it's life changing. I mean, the way you feel, nobody wants to walk around achy and pain with aches and pains. And it's like, I would say go for it. If you're thinking about doing it, do it 100%. Don't hesitate. Yeah. It's like we stuck with it. We came and it was COVID time, and we weren't giving up.
Yeah.
And like you said, over 6 years now, and I cannot imagine our lives without Shift and Art in it. We will continue to come as long as these doors are open. And when you close the doors, we'll still kick them in and make sure we come in.
Well, I appreciate that so much. And we love having you guys. We consider you friends as well. And, that's the culture that we want to create here. So
and you do.
Really appreciate that. All right. You're off the hot seat.
Okay.
You got any questions for me?
Okay. So chiropractic care, what made you want to do chiropractic care?
Yeah. So I saw a chiropractor when I was younger, not quite what we do. It was a little more of the traditional things. I had some back injuries playing hockey. So didn't really get much of the education, didn't quite know what all it was about. I just knew I felt better and I could play hockey again. And I was a kid, so that was great. Going through school, my major was exercise science at Western, and I knew I wanted to do something with people and health, and that had always been a passion of mine. And so as a personal trainer through school, I thought I wanted to do physical therapy. I did my capstone internship in Kalamazoo at a physical therapy office, and I kind of thought, how am I going to do this for 20, 30, 40 years? It was a little slower pace than I liked. It was just different. And there's lots of different forms of physical therapy, and physical therapy is awesome. But just for me, it didn't quite feel like my path or calling. And so I was also the manager of a GNC at the time, and a gentleman came in and I was helping him pick out all of his supplements and giving him recommendations. And he actually said to me, he said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I'm working GNC, man. I work here." And he's like, "No, really, like, you seem like you should be doing more than this." And I was like, "Well, I'm just finishing. I'm about to graduate undergrad and thought I wanted to do physical therapy and yada, yada." And he's like, "Well, I'm a chiropractor and it's the best job ever. I would never do anything else. You should consider it." And he even told me, he said, "You should go to this school in Florida called Palmer. If you need a recommendation letter, I'll write you one." And it was this guy that I just met 5 minutes before. I was like, sounds kind of cool. And I hadn't really considered it. And so got home and did a bunch of research on more diving into chiropractic, what it really was, what you could do with it. And then applied and went to that school in Florida. And then once I got there is where things really changed in terms of how we practice and how it's a little different and things that I learned and studied there. So
we're very thankful. All those that come here, we're very thankful that you learn different techniques because, like I said, it's a little, like I said, I'm not knocking the other chiropractic care and how they do it, but it's just a little bit, I don't know, it's a little too aggressive for me personally.
Sure. Yeah.
What's been the most satisfying thing in your career?
That's a good question. I think originally it was getting the almost, and I'll say this too, because it's almost an ego thing, right? We know the body does the healing. We just say we remove the interference, right? We take something that's abnormal, such as your spinal alignment, we put it back towards normal, and the body can function normally. The body does all the healing. But earlier on when we first opened, it was just hearing and seeing all of the results and people saying how much better they were doing, and seeing people with headaches and low back pain and migraines and neck pain and all these different things go away. And it's like, this is amazing. Now I'd say it's 50-50 between that. And I've obviously have a team here now that supports everything. And now I get a lot of fulfillment from being with my team and allowing them to partake in that, and just feel a responsibility for making sure we continue to provide an awesome workplace and somewhere that people enjoy coming, and the same culture, hopefully that you guys feel. Obviously, we are behind the scenes too. If anything, it's crazier behind the scenes. You can
see it when you walk in the door. Everybody's so happy and relaxed, and you can tell that you run a very good ship here because Yeah, you can just see it. Like I said, when you walk in the door, you see that this place is something special. This place is different. Everybody treats you so good, and everybody's so happy, and nobody looks like they hate their jobs.
Exactly. So that's the key. So now I take, pride in that, and that people come here, they enjoy coming to work each day. Obviously, it's a workplace, it's professional, but I like to think we're all friends at the end of the day as well, just like with our patients. So, yeah.
And that's how you make everyone feel. What was the decision to expand beyond chiropractic care to weight loss and everything else you do?
It mostly came from almost, I would say, by request, if that makes sense. So originally we got into some peripheral neuropathy treatment. We actually had a patient of ours who unfortunately was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she went through chemotherapy, and thank God everything went well with that. In remission, everything was good, but she was left with something called peripheral neuropathy, which is the numbness and tingling and burning in the feet or the hands, and that's a side effect of undergoing chemotherapy. And her doctors basically said, here's some gabapentin and good luck. We'll just try to numb you. And she's like, so she's asking me at the table digesting one day, is there anything you know of, anything you can do? So I start diving down the rabbit hole, and there's no good solutions out there from a traditional medical standpoint. So I was like, man, this is a need. If she's suffering with this, there's got to be more people. And so I start looking into it, and there's lots of people. And so that was kind of how that started. And then just recently, the past couple of years with the weight loss, a lot of it was, some patients that we were seeing that when we are overweight, that's inflammation. I mean, visceral fat is some of the most inflammatory substance that the body can hold internally. And so it just creates this inflammation. So sure, we can fix the spine and do this and that, but if we're inflamed all the time, we're not going to get those full benefits like you talked about with the energy increase and the mood increase if we're still just achy and these things all the time. So for some people, we just need to go a little extra step further. So with our weight loss program, obviously you don't have to be a chiropractic patient. You can do it either way. But for us, it was also an all natural method with all the, the GLP-1s and the shots and this and that, and everyone doing these things that can generally, be considered maybe not good for your health just in the name of losing weight. So I was like, we got to provide a good solution here where people can be healthy while losing weight and actually do something sustainable for the long term. So that was kind of our mission there.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah, it's great that it's so, I don't like to say one-stop shop, but it's like you offer so many other things to make people the best that they can be, which is very, very thankful for. Those that come here, I'm sure, are very thankful. I am.
Yeah, I appreciate that so much.
We come here because you offer so many benefits to make us our best selves. So,
cool. Well,
that's it.
Well, thank you so much, man.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for doing this.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. Believe me, I could go on for hours, but we don't have that time.
I think our batteries will die.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Thanks, David.
Thank you.